Prime Minister, we're really honoured to have you here to talk about a project which is very important to us, which is how do we transform agriculture using technology. So we all know the challenges faced by agriculture in terms of weather and climate and disease and pests. So we're looking to find ways to value add to agriculture, to make agriculture more sustainable, more technological, so that we can attract the younger generations to stay on the farm, to stay and keep our regional communities vibrant and healthy. In doing so, we're also looking to enhance manufacturing across that space as well. So the project that we're involved with really sort of changes and transforms agriculture, regional communities and the manufacturing industries. We'd like to show you a very short video.
QUT is pioneering technology to produce high-value bioproducts from crop waste. Biorefineries will recycle and convert the waste into greener replacements for chemicals, resins, plastics and fuels, which can then be used to make many everyday products. The biorefinery industry is developing as a key growth sector.
So, Prime Minister, the work that we're doing is looking to transform agricultural crops like sugarcane and cotton and rice and other grain crops, which we know are very important to both Australia and to India, because we have no more important challenge than to feed the world and to feed future generations. Prime Minister, this is an important growth opportunity, and we're very excited about the opportunities in this space, because when we can add more value to agriculture and not just produce one product but produce many products from our crops, we know that we can create jobs in regional communities. We know that we can create revenue that helps us sustain our rural and regional centres, and that's the work that we're very excited about doing. We know that there are companies engaged in this space like Coca-Cola and DuPont, BASF. Some of the major global brands are very interested in this technology. And so there are products like the Coca-Cola plant bottle, which is 30% made from renewable biomass from agriculture, in fact made from sugarcane ethanol. And in fact, over 15 billion Coca-Cola plant bottles have been produced in 25 countries over the last 4 years. And this is the opportunity that we believe agriculture has into the future. So at QUT, pilot plant video. So at QUT, we've been developing capacity in this space, and we've been partnering internationally with many people, including our Indian partners. And we've built some pilot plant facilities so that we can demonstrate this technology, so that we don't just do work in the laboratory, but we take that work and we build up the scale of that technology so that we can lead to commercialisation. And we're very excited about how this work is progressing. In doing so, we're working with many Indian collaborators, and what I would like to do is to pass you over to Professor Hobson and Professor Lali from ICT in Mumbai, who will talk about a particular project we're doing here, which is around developing hybrid biorefineries. Please.
Prime Minister, we're currently involved in quite a significant project to essentially convert some of the wastes from crops which are very important to both our economies. These crops are particularly sugarcane, rice and forestry. I guess the significance of these are that the residues that they produce don't compete in any way for food or animal fodder and so on. Now we realise that there are a lot of hurdles to overcome in this, and I guess our approach in this project is to really try and accelerate the process of commercialisation of the technology. It's very much an international affair. We are collaborating with 5 Indian research organisations, 4 of which are part of the Centres of Excellence that have been set up by the Indian government, and we also have 3 Australian partners as well in this project. Essentially, we're tackling 3 main areas. They are firstly ways in which we can improve the yields and so on, whether we can get more ethanol from our process, whether we can produce other products that can add further value, and Secondly, how can we actually integrate this technology into existing supply chains in the agricultural supply chains. The project is actually led by our colleagues here from ICT and ourselves at QUT, and is funded by the Indian and Australian governments. I guess another important aspect of this project is the demonstration aspect. In order to get the technology from the bench scale up to something near commercial, it's important to have pilot plants. And many of the members of this collaborative team do in fact have this pilot plant equipment, which will be essential in the development of the project. So perhaps to say a bit more about the pilot plant equipment, I'd like to hand over to Professor Lyon.
We have 5 pilot plants between the Indian partners and the Australian partners, and as Phil said, the partners in India side are all centers of excellence funded by the Ministry of Science and Technology, so Department of Science and Technology and Department of Biotechnology. We are at Mumbai, we are the lead institute. We have a pilot plant running with a company called India Glycols Ltd, which is the largest ethanol manufacturer in the country, and incidentally, Ian mentioned that plant bottle is made by Coke, which is 30% green, because that monoethylene glycol comes from alcohol, which is derived from molasses. And India Glycols happens to be the only supplier of this green alcohol, green monoethylene glycol to the Coke. And what we are working with them is, sir, instead of deriving alcohol from molasses, we would like to derive from biomass, and that's what we are talking about. And like Phil said, we are trying to remove the hurdles in this technology. All these partners are well advanced in their technology domain. We are not doing any basic science here. What we are trying to do is remove the hurdles that are stopping the implementation of this kind of technology on a large scale. And what we would like to do is, at the end of this project, find an industrial partner, or more than one industrial partner, at least on both sides, who implements this technology in a very large scale.
Thanks, Ab. And look, just to, if I can say thank you very much for your presence this afternoon. We have recently released an economic study which was undertaken by Deloitte, the major economics firm, and what that study really verified for us was that in Australia, and in fact in Queensland, on a very small scale, the opportunities for this sector are worth over $20 billion over the next 20 years, and over 6,500 full-time new jobs in rural parts of Queensland. So we believe strongly and passionately in this industry, and we're going to be working with our partners in Australia, in India and around the world to try and make this industry a reality.
So, Prime Minister, the pilot plant is attached to a sugar mill, and we believe that we can create a manufacturing plant attached to a sugar mill and create rural manufacturing jobs. So for a country like India, where petroleum is short supply, getting the plastics and chemicals, some of it to come from agricultural waste, will create rural jobs.
This is the way we have a national
have any revenue model in detail?
Yeah, that's what we're working. So for Queensland, we have done the revenue model, and it is profitable. And we have presented it to the industry minister, and we'll be sending it to the. And the same revenue model we can generate for India.
So how speedy it is? The whole process.
How speedy?
How speedy? This technology is being commercialised now. There are plants being built. As Arvind said, there are plants now in operation. There are plants being built all around the world. We need to understand how do we get those technologies into Australia and into India.
So we have a technology framework which should be able to convert biomass to alcohol in 24 hours. So.
And we'll leave your advisors with a copy of the Brewer's report.
Yeah, we'll pass on a copy of the report. Thank you.
Thank you.